Yeah, they used to take us out. Sometimes five, six, seven, eight people. They'll take us out on the funnel deck. They used to make us kneel, and they used to line us up for shooting. That we shoot. But always I used to keep telling them. I used to again shoot you shoot me. Company no pay money. So that was my bargaining chip always, trying to pressurize them.
हाय एवरीवन, जय हिंद, जय भारत, जय माता दी। टुडे आई हैव गॉट अ वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट। सर का नाम है कैप्टन प्रभात गोयल। हम लोग पायरेसी की बहुत बात करते रहते हैं और पायरेसी के बारे में बहुत कुछ सुनते रहते हैं। टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, मैंने पायरेसी की बहुत स्टोरी सुनी है, बट आज पहली बार है कि मैं कैप्टन साहब के साथ आया हूं, जो कि खुद देहरादून के रहने वाले हैं और जो कि 62 डेज तक 2008 में सोमालिया में पायरेट्स की गिरफ्त में थे। सो दिस स्टोरी इज गोइंग टू बी रियली वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। मुझे खुद नहीं पता है कि क्या होता है। जितने भी मेरे डाउट्स हैं मैं सर सबके साथ क्लियर करूंगा। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स वेलकम कैप्टन प्रभात गोयल। सर वेलकम ऑन मर्चेंट नेवी डिकोडेड।
थैंक यू
सर मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है सर कि हम लोग ने बहुत सारी स्टोरी सुनी है अबाउट पायरेसी में ये होता है वो होता है, तो आज सारे डाउट्स धीरे धीरे शुरू करेंगे। बट फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन जो आता है वो आता है, सर एक्चुअली हुआ क्या था उस दिन 15 सितंबर 2008 व्हेन यू गॉट हाईजैक्ड? क्या हुआ था उस दिन?
So on the 15th September in the morning, I was myself was preparing for pre-arrival balance which we had received CD from the company. So this my chief mate was not able to load it on his computer, so I was filling it up, and all the documents, pre-arrival documents, had been sent to our agents at both the Port and Bakshi for Kandla as well as to Mumbai, and this is the one what I was preparing. Around 11:30 in the morning, I went up on the bridge for my occasional rounds, and we had a third officer who was an ex-radio officer that time, and I just went for a casual round, and I felt that something is wrong. So just looking around, I saw third officer had altered course 12 degrees to port for a vessel on our own port side. So upon questioning my third mate why he has altered course to port for a vessel on his own port side, and what it should be in the crossing situation, you should alter to starboard
side.
Yeah, and if required, go all around. So the reply from the third mate was that this looks like a naval ship. It was a grey bluish hull. It looked like a naval vessel, and could see some number in white on the ship's side, and it could be a fishing trawler too. And since he had already altered, so since the vessel was maybe around three nautical miles, so there wasn't enough time to change that action. So I let him go. I got a little angry on the third mate, but let it go like that. And his this thing was the naval vessel. They usually don't alter. I said bullshit. This is ROR. Everybody has to follow, including naval vessels have to follow. Anyway, so this vessel passed away, crossed her by around 3 nautical miles, and I saw, and we had been using lookout watches, double watches on the bridge. Apart from duty officers, there were 2 lookouts on the bridge. Each deck had 2. Both deck had 2. On the deck had this thing. On the poop decks, we had even engine crew was being utilized for lookout watches. And it was around 13:10 was the recorded time when the ship's alarm bell went ringing, and there was a voice listing broadcast, pirates, and I was sitting in my office on my computer preparing these documents, and I got the phone call also, and I had the phone in my hand, and I just got up to see out of my porthole, and I could not see anything because my cabin was, as usual, master cabin on the starboard side, so I could not see anything in my view. Therefore, I turned around my office table and came to the midship porthole, and I was looking from there. And then I saw this pirate boat. One pirate boat I saw. It had probably 6-7 people, pirates inside, and I saw it speeding towards my bow. In fact, toward my midship, and that is the time I saw a whirlpool of water which went up probably above my bridge. I did not realize that time, but that was an RPG which they had torpedo which they had fired on us,
Oh, they
And-
fired a torpedo on you guys.
and we missed it. We missed it, or they did not intend to hit us directly, but I did not understand. But however, I turned around, left the phone, and I pressed the Fleet 77 alarm.
The distress signal.
Ship security alert system. I activate the SSCS from under my table immediately, and also the Fleet 77 alarm. I pressed it, and then I ran up on the bridge immediately. Before I went on the bridge, I had the keys and the master key and the safe keys in my pocket, because I was in uniform also, because in ex-uniform, I am ex-uniform, and we were trained to always be in uniform. So I opened my safe. I removed all the $100 bill, $50 bills. I just left all the change in the safe, locked it, and I rushed up on the bridge. This vessel was still on autopilot. The second mate had already sent the alarms via SATC. And MFHF DSC third also informed me that he has already sent the alarm via MFHF DSC. So I put the vessel on hand myself, and hand steering, and I turned the wheel hard port, and I ran on my starboard side. So I had bosun plus 3 people I saw from the catwalk. They were running back, coming towards the accommodation, and from the bridge wing I yelled at them, shouted at them to go and stop them. All we had was fire hoses and fire hydrants and foam monitors running. That's all. And we were in the convoy. We were in the official convoy, eastbound convoy. So the crew who were on deck, they tried to run up to the midship. However, I was on the extreme starboard on the bridge wing, and the vessel started moving. We had a displacement of over 35,000 tons, and I could see the ship started turning to port. But the speedboat and the guy standing with the ladder there was able to hook it up in front of on my rail, ship side rail, and climbed up. And the moment they climbed up on board, one guy started firing toward the wheelhouse and sprayed the ship with bullets. Another one came on the forecast on the catwalk and started firing randomly. So the crew ran up. All came on the bridge, emergency muster station. So this is how we got hijacked. From the time the alarm rang in my cabin to the time I had 12 people on the hijackers on the bridge, it was 13:10 to 13:14.
Within
So
4
the time
minutes.
was 4 minutes. All these guys were wearing lungis and dirty t-shirts and those kind of things. All were very clean shaved, everything. And all my crew, they came some from port side, some starboard side. 3 people were locked outside on the port bridge wing. All the bridge wing doors, everything was shut. Then some of the crew, I told them to open and let them in. And immediately by the time these people came in, we had these people, 12 people who were poking their guns and hitting on my portals, bridge wing portal, and aiming to shoot at us. And at that point of time, I just realized for my crew to lie down behind the chart table on the port side with their hands behind their head and lie down straight on the floor. So all my crew followed that, and they lie down on the floor. And then, in a gesture of surrender, I raised both my hands and I surrendered. And then I went to open the starboard bridge wing door. So there were 6 cleats on the door. And then I saw my pubman. He came crawling on all fours and he opened 2 cleats on that door. The rest of them I opened myself. And the moment the door was open, the first reaction was to hit me with their butt of their Kalashnikov, and I fell on my telegraph console. and I was very angry, and we started abusing each other. These people, 12 people surrounded me, and with
So where
their
did they hit you? On the face?
no, they just hit me on my shoulder, and I fell down. And with their gestures, I couldn't understand their language, and neither they were understanding my language. And now probably they are more trained, so they probably understand English also, maybe. So I could understand from the gestures that they want me to stop the ship because they were saying something like that. So to stop the ship, uh, I had no time to take a head count or anything. So I picked up the engine room phone because we were doing 15 knot plus on navigation full. So I picked up the phone to come down to maneuvering speed, and the ship was not UMS class. So the moment I lifted the phone, somebody hit me. One of them hit me on my right hand, and my right hand was badly hurt, injured. Excruciating pain was there, and within moments I could see the my right hand swelling. And after that, we had a lot of fight with them, myself and the hijackers, and I refused to touch the telegraph, and they were pointing at me to stop the ship. After that, I gestured with them only with sign language to push 5 or 6 of them on my starboard side. With my legs, I drew a line and pushed 5, 6 on one side and 5, 6 on the other, and keep all of them outside my body circle. And after that, I will stop the ship. So they complied. They understood my sign signal, dragging my feet like this and drawing a line. So we had 6 on one side, 6 on the other side, and after that, with my left hand, I started without calling anybody, and I started, and we had a third year and a motorman in the engine room, whom probably I didn't see for the next 1.5 month. I never saw them because they were captured down below. So, and I stopped the vessel. I think we were stopped in the Gulf of Aden around at least for 40 minutes. Around 40 minutes, we were stopped here. During this period, all the crew was lying down on the floor. I was not allowed to move away from my maneuvering position, so we do not know what's happening at all. We were stopped for around 40 minutes. There were a lot of other ships were in the convoy which passed away, and went off. A lot of vessels who passed me by were in the convoy. They saw us. Some of them, one of the captain, I think captain, he was from Dehradun. He later visited my wife, and he told her that he saw my vessel getting hijacked and went out of this convoy. So we were drifting there, and after about 40-45 minutes, then I was told to proceed. So I was proceeding as per their directions, and it became evening. I saw most of the crew were lying and asleep. Before we got hijacked, when the hijackers were probably on the way to bridge, and my third officer was already in contact on the VHF with the NATO command, you know, on the Gulf of Aden, and I heard them telling us that it will take them 9 to 10 hours to reach us, and minimum 8 to 9. We were asking for urgent help, 8 to 9 hours minimum, and that is the time when these gentlemen, so the VHF said, dropped from the hand, and we didn't touch anything after that. On the 19th September 2008, we arrived a place called Isle. So that night, the day of hijack, that is the most crucial when bullets were flying all around me, everybody, and we got saved, and even I got saved. Otherwise, that was the time I could have been shot or others could have been shot.
Then they just entered the ship and they were firing like aimlessly.
Indiscriminate firing, and I was there without helmet, without bulletproof jacket, anything was there. We didn't have also. So, and I was only ducking, on the gunwale, below the gunwale. So that's it. And then we were heading for Horn of Africa, as per they were just guiding Horn of Africa. Then we turned around. Then they told me to, before that, they told me to head for Busaso immediately after hijack. So I was looking all in my chart. I had only a small scale chart. Somehow with a magnifying lens, I was able to identify a place called Busa. So it was too small in my chart, Busa. So and then in the night, I turned towards Horn of Africa. All the crew who had gone to sleep, some of them urinated in the boiler suit. I could see
On the bridge itself.
on the
Out
bridge
of
itself
fear.
at the time when we were getting hijacked. So I could see and where this water is coming from. But then I realized that some of the crew emptied out their bladders, So I could see so much fish lying all over the bridge. And then when they went to sleep, the all night I was sitting on the chart table in front of my ARPA and radar, facing them and navigating the vessel. No one was awake. No duty officer. Everybody had gone to sleep.
Had gone to sleep on the bridge, lying there.
Yeah. Everybody was lying on the bridge and gone to sleep. After hijack, maybe after about half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, few of these guys became very violent. They started hitting me, and they started breaking my GMDSS equipment. They picked up the keypad and they started banging on this thing, printers and chassis. And with great difficulty, they were on the other side, and I was on the other side of the GMDSS console. That is the time I just remembered how to pacify them. So I removed both my applets. So I unbuttoned, removed both my applets, and I gave it to them. That you captain, take. So he was sort of very pleased. He took the applets, he put on his shoulders, and he calmed down somehow. Thereafter, the crew went to sleep in the night somewhere around maybe 1:32. The pump supply, he got up and came to me, and he was surprised to see no duty officer. He requested me to wake up a duty officer, but I told him don't disturb anything. We are all safe at the moment. My crew sleeping is safe. If we do anything different, maybe
They
we
will come again.
antagonize them. So we left like that. He wanted to go for washroom, So he wanted to. But I told him you go and ask them. So I sent him to them for urinating, and he went. He went with. We were escorted on the bridge washroom by two people, and next day morning the people woke up. The crew started waking up, and normal routine started. But at no point of time, no crew was allowed to go down from the bridge. We were kept in captivity all around on the bridge itself.
So how many people? Like only the deck people were on the bridge, or also all the
Everybody
engineers?
was on the bridge except third engineer and one motorman.
So they were in engine room.
They were in engine room, and we had only 5-6 people of these we were left on the bridge, 4-5. So I understood that they are gone. After once we were hijacked, 39, maybe around after 2 to 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, when I had only 3-4 people on the bridge, I told my second mate to stand on the chart table that I want to go and make telephone calls. So because we had a satellite phone on the bridge, but that I cannot use. So because they will see me using the satellite phone. So I made him stand between the chart table and the doorway. I sat down behind the chart table. I opened the doors and I crawled out in the alleyway.
They don't know that.
They don't know.
Okay.
Okay, because they were next to the starboard bridge wing. So I crawled out, sitting on my knees, and I slowly closed the door. And 2-3 jumps, I was down in one alleyway, and I was inside my office cabin, day room. I locked it from inside. That is the time I made 4 or 5 telephone calls using my satellite phone. And the first phone was to the DPA, and no one picked up that phone in Hong Kong. After that, there was another phone to Captain. He was in Hong Kong QMS. He also CSO. He was a CSO. So the DPA, the CSO didn't pick up the phone. My third call was to stalled operator in Norwalk, USA. Nobody picked up the phone there. None. The fourth call was to our technical superintendent, Mr. and he didn't pick up the phone. And then I realized that before hijack, few days before hijack, he had given me a schedule that he'll be flying to Vancouver or Toronto in Canada.
So 5 calls done, nobody picking up now.
Nobody. So then I remembered, and my eyes were so swollen and wet that I was using even magnifying lens, even for looking at the numbers. You know, the only number which I don't have to look anywhere was my wife's number, which is still the same today also. And then the fifth call I gave to my wife, and she was driving back from the school. And when I told her that we are hijacked, and she thought I'm joking that. So she told me, how many beer you had? I said, there is no beer. Everything, we were zero alcohol since 1st May 2007. There is nothing. I'm telling you, you note down, I'm giving you the coordinates. And then she realized the seriousness. So she asked me, give me a minute, let me pull the car down. So I gave her the coordinates of the vessel, latitude, longitude, course we are heading, how many hijackers on board. There were 12 at that point of time. And I gave her the full update and what speed we are doing. And she asked me what to do. I said, you call a Mumbai office, Delhi office, Hong Kong, shake up the entire world and tell them stole whaler is hijacked. No one is taking calls from the vessel. This was the state on that day that the vessels were not monitored. Later, I know even FML, they started a 24-hour cell for attending such calls, and many other companies did. And she immediately called up Delhi office. They had no clue. She called up Mumbai. Capt picked up a phone. He also had no news at all, but he said that let me check. I will call you back. But the first information, the coordinates were passed from her to crew department Mumbai office. Later he checked, and maybe somewhere local time in India was around 17:30 hours when he called her up and confirmed, yes, you are right, ma'am, the stolen whaler is hijacked. And they thereafter probably started the ordeal for my wife, my parents, my children, everybody. And from our side, we were tackling everything there. For 2 days, on the 19th, we reached Isle as per the directive. And from 15th to 19th, my crew had nothing, no food except the tea or coffee or biscuit, whatever is on the bridge. That had also got over. On the 19th, when we reached this place, I wanted to anchor. I saw about 22 to 23 vessels were already lying there. So I thought I was feeling a little safe. I thought we were approaching an anchorage. I thought after that, I sent my chief mate and my bosun and my cadet Nabid for dropping the anchor. I think about 4 or 5 of these hijackers, they went, escorted them for anchoring, And I was around 4.5 miles, 4.38 miles I declined to go any more closer because I had no charts, coastal charts. They wanted me to go to even less than 1.5, 2 nautical miles. But because I had no charts, I had to draw and tell them that no, my ship grind broke after no money. So I dropped the anchor. So when my chief mate and my bosun and cadet, they came back after dropping the anchor, we were anchored. The chief mate informed me that my safe had already been uprooted from my bedroom and it was lying with door broken on 2 decks below. And
the money was but already safe with you in your pockets, or they had taken that also?
No. After the hijack, after about 1.5, 2 hours, when I had come down and I had given a call to my wife, the money which I had removed, I had kept it in the corner of my sofa, lifted up and kept on the sofa. The night when I came again, my cabin had been already rummaged. Everything had been rummaged, passport, CDC, everything was scattered. So I had come down quietly in the night also in my cabin. And I saw that. So I lifted my sofa and saw, and all the money was still there. Okay. Then I took out all the money. I had received around, if I remember correctly, something like more than 50, 60 $1,000 in cash. So I hid the money, I took papers from my printer, A4 size sheets. I took a aluminum scale. I wrapped uncounted bundles of hundreds, rolled them up, pressed them with the scale, put rubber bands across. 5-6 bundles I made, hundreds and fifties all. And in my bedroom, between the cupboard and the bulkhead, there was a small gap, maybe 5 mm gap. So I made thin bundles and I put it from top. We have
बिल्कुल at the end of the site so that nobody can even imagine.
This was my 13th year on the Stolt Whaler. So usually when I join for the first time, I completely rummage my own cabin and sofas and all hidden points. Everywhere where it is possible for someone previous masters or crew to hide something, I check myself as a matter of routine. So here my SCBA, ELSA sets, all this was kept on top. So that is, I had seen it 2 years ago, my first tenure, because I climbed upon my bed and I saw, and my finger had gone inside there. So I remember there is a place here. So I put all these packets in that space and I took a flat bar which is normally kept on front of the bookshelf and I pushed them inside. I don't know where that currency was going, but definitely it was out of sight. And it remained there until we were released. And 2 days, my cook, 19th evening, we had a lot of boats coming in, lot of new people coming in, plenty people coming in, lot of rocket propelled grenades came, maybe several dozens, and launchers, machine guns, light machine guns, we saw a flurry of activity. And there was one guy called Ahmad Mohammed. He came, identified himself, me, Ahmad. So 2 days my chief cook and steward, and they said, okay, these are the fishermen. All these are fishermen. The ship cut their net, so we catch ship. So very something which is not correct, which is not true. There may be other reason, but this is not the reason that not all ships cut net. That is a very rare thing to happen. If ships cut net, even the ships get immobilized.
Right, sir.
Propeller fouling takes place. So it's not true. But this is what they behave. One thing I noticed that they always lie. They are never to be trusted. Whatever they say or do, they always lie. So for 2 days, that day we counted, we had now total 55. We did the head count. So we had our crew of 22, 20 on the bridge, 2 in the engine room, and 55 of the hijackers. Total, yeah. And the day we anchored, that day my chief mate informed me that we had two boats tied behind my stern. So these are the two boats which were used to hijack us. And going back, this naval looking vessel, which could be a mothership, most likely it was a mothership, it cost us, it went around another 3.5 miles towards the stern, and that time my duty officer advised me later. Then they, eased off, looking out of that. But then this is the vessel which went around 3 to 4 miles on my starboard quarter. Then after that, it had a port turn, and she launched two speedboats on us, which eventually hijacked us. So this is the mother vessel who had crossed my bow at 11:30.
Understood, sir.
Okay, and then this turned around and they launched two speedboats, and we had 6 people here and 6 people boarded from my starboard port quarter. 6 people from my midship starboard.
And right now there are 55 people on the ship.
Now we had 55. So after hearing him, my only query was, okay, we want food now. All hungry, no food. So he allowed only the chief cook to go down, but I declined not to send the chief cook alone. So after a lot of argument with him, I bring my steward also. We have to cook. Okay, to go together. So many people cannot cook. So chief cook and the
Steward.
messman. So I noticed that they are listening to me also. It's not that they are telling and I have to comply everything. So I was watching their every move. That if I am forcing myself on them, they are complying. What I am trying to, they are complying with my commands. So we sent two. The chief cook asked me what to bring. I told him just bring whatever you can bring quickly. Just make one jug of tea, couple of juices, couple of milk, fresh milk, whatever is ready. Quickly bread and those kind of things. No need to cook anything in the night. So bring butter, bring jam, bring this. So that is the kind of food they brought up in buckets, and everybody had a nice meal. And then every I think 3 4 days, 5 days, they used to force me to maneuver. And sometime mayor is coming for inspection. This is coming all crap. So I have to pick up anchor again and go somewhere again, come back, drop anchor close by, and eventually I was just around 1.3 miles around to the coast, So during this period, there were many times where they used to take us out, okay, and wanted to take us ashore with them, including myself and some of my officers and crew. And one day, I think it was 5th of November, 5th November, 2008. In the morning, they took me out, chief engineer out, and before this, one day after the hijack, this is very important. I must say, I forgot that after 3 4 days of hijack, these guys, Mr. Ahmed Mohammed, who was the team leader on board, he called me. He had a dirty small bag and he had documents in it. Everything he used to write in that. And he came out with some folded papers and he called me. So I went and sat next to him. And he gave me a crew list. But my eyes were so badly swollen, I saw. So this crew list was my ship's crew list, Stolt. So in this was 23 crew. So I saw the number 23. And then I called chief engineer, Vladimir Khakalov, Russian chief engineer. I was sailing with him second time. So we had a very good rapport. So I called him to see that how come 23. So he had a better eyesight even than me, and he was ex-submariner, military person from Russian Navy. He saw, oh, this one is old crew list. This one. This crew list was from Argentina. So this crew list was somewhere from the month of June.
Which was with them right
They
now.
already had a crew list from June. So the chief informed me that one OS was signed off, Siemens was signed off, and no reliever was sent. So now we are 22. But why I am bringing up this question is they already had a crew list.
And how come they have
And
that?
how they have this crew list? Okay, so they already had a crew list. Same is the case. I fully suspect that the crew list from the ships are always it's always passing by to ports, port authorities here, there. So the crew lists are coming out from there, whether it is from Suez Canal or even it could be any port in Europe, So I've said years ago in my various interviews that maybe 70% plus vessels are targeted vessels. This random hijacks are very less. 70% vessels, targeted vessels, asset value is calculated for them. What cargo they are carrying, what is the asset value of the cargo, what is the asset value of the vessel itself. And of course, nationality counts because we are like from third world countries. At least until the time we hijacked, we had pretty bad reputation even that time also. We are not Americans, we are not Britishers, And for transiting the Gulf of Aden, we used to be filling up a standard form and send as per BMP. That time it was BMP 2, BMP 3, and in the questionnaire used to be, are you any British national on board? This was strongly taken by me even in 2000 and 2009. After that, why nationality is important? Why are you asking this question? So only American lives matter, British lives matter. The rest, if it is Indian, Pakistan, doesn't matter. Thereafter, this question was removed from all the vessels worldwide. And here my wife was doing what? We do not know. I do not know. We were totally
So
blanked
we'll
out
be
from any
definitely
news.
making a video with that. So my thing, sorry to interrupt you in between, is so every 4 days you were maneuvering, they're getting you
4,
back.
5 days, 6 days.
And
yeah.
now one day they called you and chief engineer outside.
Yeah, so me, chief engineer, second officer, and 3 crew. Okay, out of this, I think 1 or 2 were from engine room, 1 from deck, and fourth engineer. So fourth engineer they called out later. So 5 of us, and they wanted us to disembark and go with them. And I asked them. And that time there were 10 or 12 people who were surrounding me on the starboard side. So I sat down on the floor, and I declined to leave the ship. But their usual this thing was, you are the bastard captain. They're telling me you don't want me to pay money. Company to me. I was telling them, no, I don't have any issues. If company pay, if owner pay, why should I stop them? So because your company not paying. So every day owners had appointed a French negotiator. I am told, Mr. Nick. So I had received one single message on email on SATC that on so and so date this number will be turned on, and no communication to be made with the outside world. So this was a SATC message received by us. So 19th we had reached there something, maybe on 20 or 21st or something, that when that line opened, I called up. So Mr. X picked up the phone. He was a security advisor to the owners. So all the negotiations, then I am told he was there in the Japan office only, sitting in Japan office and negotiating with them. Every second, third day they were fighting. I was also listening on that satellite phone. The negotiator, Somalian negotiator on board, hijackers, and
The owner
owners negotiator, they used to fight. Owners negotiator used to tell them, you keep the ship, you keep the cargo, you keep the crew, we don't want anything, fuck off. So they used to fight. And then they used to end up fighting each other, fuck off, you fuck off. And they used to tell them, okay, now 3 days we no talk. So
3 days?
We will not talk. So then under instruction for the next 3 days, there used to be breakdown of communication, or sometimes even 5 days total breakdown of communication.
So when the negotiator said we don't want people, so these people on the ship, they used to get angry. And were they beating you guys at that time?
Yeah, they used to take us out. Sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8 people. They'll take us out on the funnel deck. They used to make us kneel, and they used to line us up for shooting. That we shoot. But always I used to keep telling them, I used to, again, you shoot me, company no pay money. So that was my bargaining chip, always trying to pressurize them. They were also pressurizing us like this, After 1.5 hour, 2 hours, they used to bring us back in. But on 5th November, they took us out. So I sat down on the floor. I was touching his feet. I was pleading with him,
don't take me down off the ship,
that I will not go down this thing. And because I was asking, when will you bring me back? Us. So he said, we don't know. Maybe they kill you. So I was not comfortable leaving my ship and going. Then I used to start pleading. I started pleading that this only $100 small money on the deck. I used to write only this one salary, 150 only small, very poor man, fisherman only. So the 3 engine crew and deck crew, they were let go. They let go them. So they were back in the bridge. So only me was left, myself, Chief Engineer, and my second officer, Unni Krishnan. 3 of us were left there. And then they ordered to do the blackout. Stop everything, blackout. So my chief engineer started going down to engine room from the bridgeway, and I called him and told him to stop. No, and I called him back, and he came to me. I said, "You are not stopping anything. Our generators were on full. If we stop like this for 10 days, 15 days, we will not be able to start them. You will not stop anything. You will not do blackout. You will do it only when I order you. You will only listen to my orders." And chief engineer complied, and he stood there. So they were getting increasingly angry with me. The captain writing the anything. So they were pushing me, they were beating me, making me fall on the deck, and then hitting me with kicking me out. And eventually they took three of us, they called fourth engineer out, and they made him stand on the starboard bridgeway, and they told him, "You watch everything what's happening." So each deck was told me, I think 5 decks were there, 4 or 5 decks. They were 2 gunmen, and they were all armed, and they wanted us to leave the vessel. And the same ladder they had used us to board, and one of their boats that was standby down with the engines running. So chief engineer was number one. I was behind him, and then it was second mate. And the chief engineer wanted to step out. He started climbing down, above the rail. And again I called him from behind, "Stop! Not leaving the ship. I will order." So chief engineer came back in.
Again they became angry.
Again they became angry with me, and they started manhandling me and beating me and pushing me, that you first go down. So I climbed up the rail. This fourth engineer was watching everything from the starboard bridge wing and crying and yelling from there. I could see. So I got down. I got out from the top rail. I got on the ladder, 2-3 rails. I got down, and then on the second, that big rail is there, then the small one, solid bar. Then I was standing holding that only. How much ever they pushed me, how much ever they bat me with their, I did not move at all from there. Then my legs were feeling numb. After around 2.5 hours,
On the ladder you were there
I
two
was
and a
there,
half hours.
2.5 hours I was there.
So your legs, your hands, everything.
So I had wrapped both my hands like this.
Understood.
In the second one, I had wrapped my legs, and there are a lot of fish there, lot of fish. So I had decided that if I fall down, the fish will eat me, and that will be over, finish, matter closed. But that day I saw, during that period, my brain was just, I could see the video, rotating.
Your whole life.
The film, it was like a film, and I could see my wife, I could see my daughter, I could see my son, I could see my relatives, my sister, my mother, my father, and and the various episodes of life. This is what was going on all through until I fainted, with my hands
You fainted.
stiffened like this. You see?
Understood.
Like this. And then I don't even know the time frame. This is what my crew told me when I was taken back, that I was there for 2.5 hours there. 14 was recording all this. And then I opened my eyes. I saw somebody was pulling my hair and tapping my face. This was the team leader, Ahmed Mohammed. So he was shaking my face, holding my hand, and he was watching me whether I'm alive or dead. But during all this time, these 4 or 5 days, they were continuously shooting.
They were continuously shooting.
So rapid fire. So in Kalashnikov, you have rapid fire mode and single fire modes. So they were shooting. So only I could hear the sound.
But what were they shooting at? Just randomly like this only.
Just random shooting. After a few minutes, I realized that why are they not killing me? How can they miss? They are very bad training. So, and I realized that they are actually trying to scare me to leave the ship. Actually, their plan was to take us out.
And what would have they done had they taken you out?
Maybe they would have killed us.
But would they? Do they kill like this?
They take many times. Many sailors are languishing outside. Over there, they have groups of 200, 300, 350 people in the gang, total gang, all villagers, women, ladies, girls, children, everything, So that's it. And I could only see, when I was looking at, I could see a flash, flashing, then this deck flash, that flash. But the bullets are so fast, no, you actually can't see the bullet, but they were firing all around me. You see, the very bad shooters, how can they be? They are all military trained, trained. I said maybe they don't want to shoot me. Yeah, they don't want to. So I realized that. After that became all the more adamant. नहीं जाऊंगा, अब तो उतरूंगा ही नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं उतरूंगा. मैंने कहा इनको मारना होता तो मार देते, अभी इतनी देर लगती है गोली मारने में.
Right, sir.
तो I realized they are bullshitting. Okay. So then this fellow was trying to wake me up. Then I saw like this. So I told him, okay, kill me. No, kill me. Foolish, no. Captain, kill, no money. So then he started pulling me up. Okay, but I was in no condition to come up,
Because you were still wrapped with the ladder over there.
Yes, and my legs were totally gone asleep, numb. So then the second mate and chief mate, they were all sitting there only. Second mate and chief engineer.
On the deck, main deck.
Behind, near the flag post. Okay, half flag. So then they pulled me up, 3-4 of them. They also assisted. And the moment I could not stand, I fell down. The moment I went again, fell down. So then somebody brought water. I could see this team leader. He is massaging my legs.
That means they want you to get okay ASAP.
So I could make out they want me to live. Okay. So my second mate and all that, they were this thing, after some time I could start moving my legs. I stood up. And then they brought me up on the bridge. So my crew who were crying, and they were crying like children, And when I came on the bridge, and Hip Hip Hooray, the whole crew was started shouting with joy, glee.
Captain, the leader is back. The leader is back.
Captain is back. Captain Hip Hip Hooray, Captain Hip Hip Hooray. So I told you, we will go back together. I will not go anywhere leaving you. I will not even go to land. I will not go anywhere. We go back home together or we go nowhere. And crew was
massaging you,
checking me. I told second mate to bring, okay, check my BP. Third mate and this thing, check my BP. My BP was 122/80. Absolutely calm mind. I was absolutely calm that day. I seen the death. So then that day, they told us, and okay, when we were hijacked, I think after 2 days, the owners disconnected the email of the vessel, was turned off because it was Japanese hub. So satellite phone also they used to turn on at a given time. They used to email after, I think after few days, email was shut down. Phone was on, satellite phone. So up to 17th October, from the 15th September to 17th October, I was calling my wife.
That too slowly going down from your cabin. Nobody knows that.
In the night, yes. I was taking a risk, going down quietly, update her, and that's it. That is how she was getting all the news.
And your wife was fighting the battle on your behalf and on behalf of the whole crew of
and later I came to know that Anab Goswami had visited us also. In fact, many other news person during the course of our school. So we know a lot of journalists, So everybody was there. So Anab Goswami had the uterus right, So he told her to give her the first breaking news. So it used to be first to Anab Goswami, and then it used to be broken by Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep Sardesai is also well known to us. So that's how it used to be. So that day, they were not able to connect from satellite at all. So the hijackers, I requested his phone. I wanted to call my wife from the bridge now in front of them. And they said everybody to call everybody. They wanted to put pressure from the families.
It's been 1 month
on the company. So I called up my wife that this is what has happened just now. 2.5 hours I was hanging behind, and I'm almost half dead. And this is my last call. After this, please take care of the children, and you will not be hearing my voice. You do whatever you want to. I don't know what you do.
She must be crying like anything.
She was panicking. She was crying. No, you don't say that. If you say that, if you do this, what will happen to your crew? I said, this is the last call I am calling, and you can contact owners and tell them.
I just want to say one thing. Please watch the video where I'll be interviewing ma'am as well, because एज अ seafarer's wife, what she was going through, वो क्या देख रही थी, वो भी हमें जानना जरूरी है. Yes sir.
So she was telling me, don't give up, don't do this. If you do this, what will happen to your crew? I am doing the best. Whenever they are trying to shoot my chief engineer, they are coming and hiding behind me. Chief engineer is coming and hiding behind me. Other officer coming and hiding behind me. And I am standing and fighting with them to leave them, leave them. When we are sleeping, they used to not
Hit you.
No, not at all.
Only hit you guys to create pressure, but there was hitting on everyone.
Yeah. Not everyone. Main guys, me, chief engineer, second officer, one or two more engineers. Otherwise, generally the crew, they were not harming at all anything or beating. So that is so the pressure is great. So that day, from their hijacker's phone, I gave it to everybody, and everybody
Called them back.
called their homes and informed them, updated them, talked to them or whatever. And I had a directory which I was hiding, a small. That was the owners, Yamamaru Kaisen, board of directors. I think 23 or 26 directors are there. Yamamaru Kaisen is the head owner, and that director I was hiding. And I got all DPA numbers, all company numbers removed, sending my cadet around and remove everything from the list, because they will keep disturbing everybody. Who cannot take any decision? What will DPA do? What will this do? Nobody. So what is the point in all over the ship's elevation? All companies, personnel, owners, there were no telephone numbers available anywhere, available to anybody at random. All removed from mess rooms, everywhere I got removed. And this directory, that day I took this directory which I was hiding with me on the bridge. I took it out and I called up the head owner straight away at his residence. And his wife was crying. She picked up the phone that he's gone out for a walk, probably must be evening time or something in Japan. So she was crying, no, please. She's the lady of she was the lady of Stolt Whaler. And I told her that now today they have given us this thing. Every 24 hours they will kill one person. Every 6 hours they will kill another one. All this thing is happening. So if you can do anything today, go ahead. But I want to talk to the head owner. So she told after 10-15 minutes you call. Then I called up the head owner after 15-20 minutes. I spoke to him. And he told me, and the Japanese are very polite, even in these kind of emergency. Yes, we are doing this, we are doing that, we are doing everything possible. I told him, now is the time. First I offered him 1 month wages of all officers and crew. Also, I had taken all officers and crews 2 month wages. I had worked out how much that was the around difference, in the negotiations of the $250,000-300,000 US. So all officers and crew had agreed to pool in 2 months wages, no remuneration of 100% basic or anything. Don't give us anything, don't give this thing, we just want to release. Finish.
So basically the negotiator from the owner side and the negotiator from the Somalia side, there was the difference about $200,000-300,000.
In the end, yeah. In towards the end, when this happened. Then I talked directly to the owner's wife and to the owner himself.
And you said कि भाई 2 महीने की salary हम कोई नहीं लेंगे, you just get us down.
Correct. I also talked to a Filipino port captain who was also in Japan, because we had 2 Filipino officers. 3rd and 4th were Filipino.
Okay.
So Captain Lial was also called to Japan. I spoke to him also on phone. They did not agree for 1 month wage, they did not agree for 2 month wages also from the crew, nothing, no, that cannot be accepted, this. However, that day, they said we are doing our best, and then the owners and the negotiators, they discussed all that, and the entire deal was closed.
Entire deal was closed.
Yes.
Finally, they agreed कि okay, this much is the money that we are going to give.
Whatever was amount that was discussed, closed. I was told that I will receive some emails on SATC, and henceforth all information is going to be confidential. So please make sure this information is not shared or seen by anybody. So I put up a wooden block, in front of my SATC printer and covered it up with a big bed sheet, and the printers used to come. My duty officer used to just tear up and give it to me. So after that, all information used to be confidential. All terms and conditions were confidential, which was sent by the owners and negotiators, security negotiators.
Understood.
And I used to take these, what was relevant. They were happy that the deal is finalized.
So 17th October, around 18th October, the deal was finalized after 1 month approximately.
Yeah.
But still, a lot of paperwork, a lot was being done.
What happened after the hijack of the stolen wheeler? The money used to come somewhere from Yemen, across the Gulf of Aden, and then it used to flow down via supply boats, supply tugs, supply vessels. With the stolen wheeler hijack coming into the picture, this security companies and the NATO and all this, combined task force, they started stopping these vessels, and the ransom amount which they were carrying, so that sea route was stopped by them. So initially, during our first month, we used to see the vessels which were being released. We used to get to know from them also. So in the night, that vessel is out from the anchor, pick up anchor and maneuvering. Then maybe 12 to 24 hours she is maneuvering all what is happening. We used to keep watching on the radar, and then we used to find now she is gone. After maybe 12 hours, 18 hours, 24 hours, the vessel is gone. And this supply boat used to come trans Gulf of Aden, go alongside there. Something.
So they were coming with the money, but that money was not coming to the.
So now this was choked after stolen whaler. This supply line of cash was choked totally. Also, much before the negotiation was closed, one day the team leader told me, hijackers, to talk to the captain of another vessel, chemical tanker, which had Russian officers and crew, to talk. Why should I talk? I no talk. They took me out. That vessel, maybe an hour, 1.5, 2 miles on my starboard quarter. You talk. Talk to whom? Talk to the Somalian hijacker on board that ship, team leader. I don't know. Why should I talk? I was scared, Why should I talk to another
hijacker on some other ship, which is
different group?
Yes.
Everybody, all ships are but hijacked by different groups.
Oh.
Okay, there are too many groups operating there. Why should I talk? I no talk. Then he said, no. So from his mobile, I spoke to that hijacker. He told me to talk to their captain. I spoke to their captain. He could hardly speak proper English, so I was not understanding. So he gave the phone to his chief engineer. He could speak a lot better English. I also called my chief engineer out on the starboard bridge wing. So then I gave my phone to chief engineer also in the end. So he can convey in Russian language and convey to me. So that day what happened was, he was asking me, how are you? I said, I'm okay. But all my crew is not good. I am not good. We want to go home, all this thing. So he said, I'm giving you one number. Write down one number. You call up this number. Whose number is this? So me and Chief Netu were there. So we wrote down one number he gave us of Kenya. Then this is very interesting. So we got a number from Kenya. I asked him, who is he? You speak to him. So he said, you talk. I am asking after this phone close over, why should I talk to, who is this guy in Kenya? I don't know anybody in Kenya. So negotiator, no, you talk. So negotiator, again his mobile, we talk to this guy in Kenya. Yeah. He is asking me, Captain, how is your health? Very polite, very polite. Everything is asking. Hey, who are you? He did not tell me his name. He said, okay, I will explain. I said, you are asking only about me. Why you are not asking me about my crew? You are only concerned about my health. What about my crew? Somebody is vomiting blood. Somebody is doing this. Somebody is having this problem, medical problem. But you are only concerned about captain health. Why? Who are you? I am the person who is licensing between Indian Embassy and Japanese embassy and many other embassies. I am the key person here. Okay. So here I am to talk about your health because I have to report to someone. Later I came to know, much later, that day my wife had just reached back from Delhi to Dehradun. She was trying to get an appointment with the External Affairs Minister Pranab Mukherjee, but she was not able to get. So she reached here sometime, and within 15-20 minutes she got a call from Delhi that she has got the appointment from Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. So immediately within 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, she again rushed back to Delhi from Dehradun. I think the appointment time was some 7 or 7:30. She was late by 1.5, 2 hours. But Mr. Pranab Mukherjee was waiting patiently for her, and my wife told me later that he is one of the best politicians she has ever met.
Mr.
Though,
Pranab Mukherjee.
yes,
We'll definitely be talking to her, knowing her experience.
and she has met many politicians at that point of time in Delhi, many from BJP and many other parties. He was the most pleasant and patiently he asked me to talk. When she stopped talking, then he said, "Ma'am, how do you have so much knowledge about shipping?" She said, "My husband tells me everything. I sailed with him for more than 5-6 years. I still keep sailing with him. So I know many things about shipping." And that is the time Mr. Pranab Mukherjee picked up the phone and he called up somebody, Indian Embassy in Kenya. This is what was happening in Somalia with me, and this is what was happening in Delhi, but I was not aware.
That was a political pressure being.
So this was from External Affairs Ministry to there. These guys were present there, and they were told to report about my well-being, which was promptly reported to Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, External Affairs Minister, in the presence of my wife.
Okay.
And she was right there in his office. That this is your husband, he is absolutely all right, he is well, no problem. And also he assured her that now we will put political pressure on Japan and our DG shipping, we will instruct them, there will be no seafarers, Indian seafarers will be available for Japanese vessels.
So this was the kind of pressure that was being.
Yes. There were 3 or 4 masters which were sent to, including Chairman of Shipping Corporation of India, FOSMA, who were sent to Japan. And she was also supposed to go to Japan. She got a passport within 30 minutes.
Within 30 minutes, visa.
Passport. She had no passport that time, expired.
Oh.
So one call from Major General Khanduri, who was the Chief Minister that time, and she got a passport within 30 minutes that day. So we were waiting for this, but then those communication, coming back to that. So a lot of things like this happening there, but this communication when started coming was the terms of the hijackers, no Iranian, no US dollar will be acceptable, which are printed during Iran-Iraq war in the 79-80, those time, 87, no? 8-9 years. That currency, no fake currency should be there. Plenty other conditions were there. The aircraft which was supposed to bring the currency was White Eagle. It was codenamed White Eagle. The Stollwellers was named Blue Dolphin. This was all coming to me.
So it was all code name being happening so that people do not.
So I had to contact them on aeronautical frequencies, get in contact with them, and we had to use 2 speedboats, 2 boats. The smoke floats we were supposed to throw in the water, and with that smoke, that is where they will drop. So all this was we were planning on board, as per the instructions, along with the team leader. That what will happen. So there both the boats engine won't start. So they wanted to cut my live boats. That we take your live boat and 2 live boats, and they wanted to cut and all that. I said, no, this one no good. This is very small, slow boat. So our chief engineer repaired their boat, using Framopump spares. He brought their outboard engine out on top, and he took it to workshop. He repaired. He used to also repair their Kalashnikovs also.
Oh
And
God,
service.
chief engineer servicing the Kalashnikov.
Yeah. He has used everything. No, he is a ex-submariner. He is an expert. So he used to dismantle Kalashnikovs, repair them, and give it to them, and oil them, and all that.
Oh,
I used to get them primer and black paint, sand cadet. These are very rusted, very bad. So okay, and wire brush and sandpaper, and I used to tell them, okay, paint now very good, new. So I used to give them black paint and this one.
At least there was some kind of coordination.
Some coordination. I used to try to build from my side some, but every day their boat used to go ashore and bring lolula leaves, fresh like spinach, bundles of them, and that used to be distributed to all the hijackers on board. And the best ones were for the team leaders, the hijackers, the main people who had hijacked the vessel. They were always getting the best. UK cigarettes used to come for them, 2-3 cartons. Biscuits all made in UK. The sims they were using, all the same. They take away all our phones. The sims they were using, all the same. Behind that is painted yellow. You cannot IMEI number. Nobody can. They are all painted yellow. But they are always getting satellite signals, okay? All the time. All service providers, telephone, mobile service providers sitting in US. That's phenomenal.
So 17th October, you talked, it is happening with Pranab Mukherjee sir. Then after that, all the coordination happening, no more beating anymore now.
No more. They were all this thing. On that day we talked this thing. But the thing was that arranging this money was taking time, and the day which was, I don't remember the date when this was supposed to come. There was a condition from the security companies that there will be no more firing, nothing towards the other way. It will go away. It will not come. So this was supposed to come from my starboard, from my port quarter. Okay. So these guys were, just 10-15 minutes before, these hijackers all were collected on the bridge wing and Monkey Island. So they started firing in air. So then the team leader, he banged couple of them, some other people, the guys who fired in air, they were beaten up. And after that, I told them money is going to come from my starboard bow. So you better go. So I made all of them, 90% of them, go on the starboard bow. So they all ran forward. That money is going to airdrop from there every day. So we were very few people left on the bridge, My duty officer, my second officer, third officer. But the thing is that our Filipino officers, they told them that you go, captain, take with you, captain, for bring the money. So they were insisting that I go with them. So unfortunately, second mate was new. He was just promoted, the day I joined the vessel, 24th August. So I had very raw officers. Third officer was an ex-radio officer. I'm talking about maneuvering the vessel itself. So I was not comfortable. The chief mate was not helpful at all in maneuvering the vessel. But I didn't want to go also, because I discussed this with my second mate confidentially, that if I go in this boat which is ready along with this hijacker, and supposing they don't bring me back here, and the boat and with the money it reaches the shore very close, we are hardly 1.38 miles, and with me they run away ashore, then what will happen? Then the vessel will be left with no master. And because of this reason I will not go. And because none was volunteering, second officer volunteered, though I didn't want him to, but he volunteered that I will go with the boat. So my second mate, he volunteered, he went with their boat. He had a walkie-talkie with him, and at the agreed time when this thing came, we were watching with binoculars. I was talking on aeronautical frequency.
This was on which date, sir? approximately?
This was maybe around 21st or something like that.
21st November. 15 September it happened, then 17th October, then 21st November ho gaya sir. It's more than 2 months.
Yeah.
Then
So then the chopper came, the aircraft came, small aircraft. We could hear the flap open and close under it. Like this boat was supposed to go about 1 nautical mile on our port side. It was supposed to make 300-meter circle. And in the center of the circle, we were supposed to throw my guy who was in the boat, the smoke float. And then they will drop the money. Why? Because if they drop the money near a different vessel, then that group will take the money. If some other group takes the money, then again every time my owners are not going to send money for us. So this was a big issue. So I kept the bosun and 1 or 2 crew stand by on my port manifold. And these people, they don't realize when they are in choppy seas, 4, 5, they are making a 5-6 meter circle, you know. So from the bank, I was directing them bigger. And when I could hear the
chopper coming,
not the chopper, it's a proper aircraft,
like
2 or 4 seater. Then I told him, you know, my bosun,
throw the smoke float.
Yeah, first we threw from the vessel instead of sending from the boat. So one smoke float I threw from my vessel port side. So at least they know the vessel, you know. This was not in the instructions. So I threw one next to my vessel, you know, where maybe 40-50 meters away, wherever my bosun could throw. And after that, I ordered second mate to throw, and then he threw. But the aircraft dropped the bag. We couldn't see the bag only. Okay. And I saw my second mate was, you know, going away toward my stern, you know, other side. So what happened was that this parachute parted.
Oh.
Okay. So the bag, we could hear a big thud. Later I put in my report, the color of the bag was blue. So it was very difficult from the vessel to trace that bag, you know, popping up in the water. And the blue,
black, blue water, everything is
correct. And the blue and the dark blue parachute, which broke. So he was following that cloth. Then I was calling him on walkie-talkie, but it was on his back. Then I had to start blowing the ship's whistle. Then he must have realized, and he was, you know, alert, and he responded. I said, that is only parachute cloth. You turn 180 degrees. Then we maneuvered him to the bag, which my third mate and the other crew were looking at, 3 binoculars. We directed him, and then they got the bag, and they came, and the entire rush of these hijackers, the team leader, Ahmed Mohammed himself went, you know, and the bag on his shoulder. And, you know, they wanted to distribute the money on the bridge, so which I declined, because every time other vessels, when they were distributing the money, there used to be a lot of gunshots. Okay, so I said maybe somebody of my crew got eliminated. So I offered them off-size mess room. No. This is very good because galley very close. You can cook it, cook it, because they asked for 3 days for distributing the money.
3 days for distributing the money?
Yeah. So 2, 4, 5 days before, okay, there was a man, very simple clothes, with a bag. He came. He never interacted with anybody. He was lying on under my starboard lifeboat, and he used to sleep there, have his food, go to sleep there only. 2 guys were there in completely military outfits, brand new, shining armor. Absolutely. 2 more guys were there. Now you can imagine why these people are there, you know. These are from the security company, from the people who finance the entire operation. Spick and span, like you know, British Army commandos, absolute, completely. That other guy was the accountant. So what I did was, I had sent my cadet down below. Cadet Nabeed was smart, no? From the mess room, we got the doorknobs removed. With the screwdriver, I had sent him down, remove all the doorknobs and lock them from alleyway. So When they are inside, if they have to come, they will have to come to the bridge from outside via the galley. They have no more
from the
access inside the accommodation anymore. So I got all this is all whatever used to come to my mind. I got the access is blocked, and they were distributing the money, total mess, whatever they made here. During the our negotiators, security negotiators, gave them 24 hours. They were demanding 3 days, but that was not agreed. 24 hours. Next day, the day we received the money, next day morning, sometime, their cook, they bring their own cook, okay? So, Abdul Rashid, the cook, he was very neatly dressed with one pistol here. He came up, along with one more guy to call me down below. Ahmed, Ahmed, that Ahmed को गोली मार दिया मतलब. Ahmed shot. So, that time I told my chief Nia, one day before, fill up whatever this thing of service tanks, everything, and all nobody has to be in engine room, okay? Unmanned engine room. And I want all 22 on the bridge in front of my eyes, okay? I don't want to lose even a single soul at the end of the day, okay? So everybody has to be here, and after 6 hours, 5.5 hours, somebody can go and again fill up the tanks if necessary. So all my 22 people were on the bridge at that time. So I told them that, okay, bring here. Captain, no go, you bring here. So they brought on, some mat or something. They brought this guy, Ahmed Mohammed, had been shot through his head like
The
this.
chief cook over there, or the guy?
No, the main
team leader was shot dead.
Yeah. So he was still breathing. The bullet didn't pass through his head. The bullet passed here like a half-inch cut, through and through like this, And he was panting, breathing. Me and second mate, we tore his t-shirt, everything. We cleaned up his body. We cleaned up his mouth. We had only paracetamol, painkiller and all that, because our hospital keys they had taken only anyway.
So now why was this guy shot, sir?
Maybe they must have had some skirmish down below, I don't know.
Some fight for the money.
Some painkiller pills we put
but
in
he
his
died.
mouth. No, we told them, okay, now you keep bridge wing. Stop outside. Good breeze was coming, 4 or 5. Keep outside, fresh air, maybe okay. But this guy was lying there all day over there without moving, and he had conked off. To the best of our knowledge, he was dead. But body was kept there only. Stop outside. And when they had finished, some of them went in their boat. Some of them had no boat to go, and they made me maneuver up, down, 10 miles here, 2 miles here. I was going and leaving them close to the coast, and then they were listening with our immersion suits and all wearing, and they went away.
So that must have been the happiest day of your life, sir. Again,
consumed. And the final lot I sent, the final lot of these guys, I maneuvered to another hijacked vessel, and I had to drop them because there was no other boat. They said to drop us on this. This is not this is a big ship, But still they forced me at gunpoint, So I came around, maneuvered.
So it was like a ship to ship happening, like this, STS
ship
happening.
to ship, and somewhere here, then I took this one and then dropped. The last 4 people jumped here. Now one guy was not going only. One guy took a chair. If my second mate will hear me in your YouTube video, so he will realize, because this guy was staring at me continuously for more than 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and he put his chair inside the bridge on the starboard side, and he was just following me. And he only had this pistol and revolver. So I got a inkling. I told second mate quietly on the chart table that this guy is following me. So he and third mate also started watching him. बोला साहब जिधर आप जा रहे हो ये आपके ऊपर नजर रखा हुआ है. मेरे को ऐसा लगा कि ये मुझे मार देगा. He said this guy is not going. 90% all of their guys have gone. He is not even moving from here. तो मैंने कहा I think before he moves from here he will shoot me. पंगा तो होता ही है ना इतना टाइम हाईजैक के बाद में. I try to be good, I try to be very bad also to them. So then I told second officer, I said, I think this is time I must not stay here on the bridge. Now the final minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but this guy is not going. Okay, you call up engine room, and second engineer Santosh, somebody was there, because you are Maruni, no? So you tell them that open the door, because all engine room doors used to be the same, security locked inside. The captain is coming, so then they opened one door. I entered from their door. I went down, and I asked them where to hide, Da, 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 da. So they took me down, right down in the bilges on the port side. So I was inside the bilges, just in case they come to engine room, And I said, don't even reveal in case you have to open engine room. Where is captain? He said, captain no come, captain bridge, maybe captain dive, captain jump water. But don't, otherwise they'll shoot you also, they'll find me and shoot me also. This was my instruction to Jutinia. So I was hiding down below. And I had my walkie-talkie. And I told second mate that once these are gone, another 5-10 minutes, try contacting me. If you can't, you call me. Because in the stern,
Yeah, it's very
there is a
difficult
phone
to
or
get
something to the engine room, after stations. And then the second year or third year, somebody came to call me, And then the moment I kept coming up, so then I was in touch with second year. So he confirmed to me that all gone. Then I stepped out from that stern door, next to the winches, fresh air. And he was waiting to receive me. I said, सब गया क्या सब क्या चला गया. Okay, all gone.
So that must have been a big sigh of relief.
Then both of us came up on the bridge.
Hurrah.
And हाँ मैं तो अपने बच्चों का नाम भी भूल गया था. वो पैसे देने से पहले our company and their psychologists sitting in wherever, Japan or whatever, they talk to each crew member. Okay, they tell me in my instruction. So one by one I had to this thing, and they are asking different questions to them, related to their wives, families, anything. So they need to check the mental status and what psychology impact was. Like for example, my daughter, they asked me about my daughter, So one was Marshall, I told Marshall, and the other one I said Pine Hall School. And I just forgot in this commotion that just before joining that vessel, I had shifted her to Summer Valley. So I was saying, no, she is in Pine Hall School. No, captain. You think again. This is how the kind of question. They know exactly where my children are studying also. Then I realized that. No. I shifted her to Summer Valley. So that's how it goes, So that was the end of it, and then we flew via Doha. And airport में भी काफ़ी वो था उधर मस्कट में ना, दोहा से. कभी अब्दुल गनी शरान का फ़ोन आ रहा है, कभी किसी का फ़ोन आ रहा है, एवरीबडी वाज कॉलिंग,
हैप्पी. घर पे भी बहुत अच्छा एनवायरनमेंट रहा होगा कि चलो आ रहे हैं, सर आ रहे हैं.
हाँ.
तो सर ऑल इन ऑल अगर if we sum this up,
this was
so those 62 days या those 2 months, what did they teach you? मतलब उस एक्सपीरियंस ने आपको क्या सिखाया सर, या आप क्या शेयर करना चाहेंगे कि any learning lesson that you take from life?
I would say that this is way of life. Shipping is very tough, so must join. There is good money in shipping. I never say do not join because of piracy. Nowadays, I have told in 2008 and later that I will go hundreds of times. I have joined back V ships, even after one less than 1.5 months on vacation, when the entire crew has and officers have declined to pass through Gulf of Aden and going for loading, vessels were XBP vessel 40s.
So sir, my question is,
I went again.
That is what I want to say कि why didn't you quit sailing? फैमिली से कोई रेजिस्टेंस नहीं था, अब तुम मत जाओ, यहीं पर कुछ करो, don't go back on ship, this has happened with you, have suffered so much.
Everybody does say that, but the thing is that the need of money at that point of time was still this house was itself under construction. This was not ready.
जरूरत करवाती है.
जरूरत कराती है तो जाना पड़ता है. अभी भी क्यों जाता हूँ, अभी भी तो पैसे के लिए जाता हूँ.
Those who do not know, sir is 62 years old. He's going to be 62 years old, and just a few months back he has come back from his sail. It's been around 15 years that he was last going through those tumultuous time, और इन्होंने सेलिंग छोड़ी नहीं है. ये हमें एक चीज जो मैं सीखता हूँ इस चीज से कि जिंदगी बहुत सारे पत्थर फेंके, there will be many stones hurled at you. It is how you perceive it, because challenges are everywhere, risks are everywhere, and it is your need, your honor that makes you take decisions and move ahead in life. Am I right, sir?
On the 4th of May 2023, it will be 43 years. And
That we have been sailing.
Yes, and I'm again lined up,
Again lined up to go back on
Yeah,
ship.
I'm getting plenty calls from my company.
Sir, it was one hell of a journey, one hell of a ride, and thank you very much for sharing your experience.
But
and for being the captain that you have been,
be
sir.
careful, sail, dangers are there everywhere. Yeah.
It is how you perceive and how you think.
How you perceive. But if we don't motivate the next generation, I do that. Last month there was a launch of magazine, I was there myself, chief guest.
Okay.
And I went there, and that was to motivate these 10+2 batches which they started, +2 and Merchant Navy and NDA.
Okay, sir.
So I went to motivate I was called there.
With this, all I can say is thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata Di.